Good evening, everybody. Welcome to On Deck. It's Friday, so it's always great. It's a weekend. Got a lot of stuff going on. I'm Russ Morgan, Rob Mosley, as always. Rob, we got a lot of stuff. We got baseball. We're in full swing now, week 3. It's great. Got the Masters going on. Anybody who loves golf, which is, iconic. How's it going for you, Rob?
I'm liking it. Other than my Red Sox just got swept. They had a nice West Coast trip. They come back to Fenway, best park in baseball, no bias, and they get swept by the Orioles. But the Orioles are going to be a really good team this year. They won 100 whatever they won 100 games on the nose last year. Won the division. They're a good team, no shame. But we handed them that game last night by this bad fundamental baseball that, like at the high school level where you instruct people, got to step on a base on a force play. Don't, there's no guess, no ghost stepping before, the days before instant replay. Yeah, sometimes on the, the double play or just like in the area. Nowadays, you got to step on that darn base, So.
Yep. I'm with you. One of the best fields in obviously all baseball. I put it up. It was always with me. It was Fenway. I'm not going any order. Fenway, Wrigley, Old Yankee Stadium. Obviously, they put it to rest. I thought Old Yankee Stadium, I'm a little biased, was one of the best, but I can't put New Yankee Stadium there. But definitely Fenway and Wrigley for me. Iconic, one of the best,
Oh no, there's a lot of nice parts. Camden Yards looks nice.
But they don't have the history. Those places.
I know the history. I just like the history. I'm a sucker for the history.
And I'm with you all the way on that. Fundamental baseball that will drive you nuts. But yeah, I mean, for you being being a Sox guy, I think even when like the Yankees last year, we had no shot at the playoffs. I'm like, all right. We can't be below 500, and I feel the same thing with you don't want New York that doesn't fly, and in Boston with the Red Sox that being under 500 that doesn't fly, especially in the last 25 years where they've started to be competitive.
I know, no, it's brutal, man. It's I'm looking at Fenway right now, and looks like they got kind of a light crowd. We will see how it pans out. But it's it is what it is, man. They just gotta win, and winning brings people back. So that's how it goes.
Well,
they're faithful in Boston, so we'll be okay.
I mean, yeah, the Boston faithful, the Red Sox, it's a Red Sox town. Even though how great the Patriots were, they suck now.
No, it's good, man.
And are unbelievable, but. Yeah. Red Sox will always probably dominate the town, but we got a rash of injuries, which we got nailed with. Obviously, I'm sure you're a little hurt because Trevor Story went down with his shoulder season-ending.
Yeah, I was watching the minute he dove for the ball, and I knew it was bad. Yes, and I know you already got the next guy up. Obviously, is Pivetta. At least he's going to be a shorter stint, hopefully, but maybe he just.
Well, it looks like Pivetta should be back around April 26th with his elbow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a little weird, but the Story one definitely hurts because it's a big signing a couple years ago.
I know, and he's just missed a lot of time
last year.
And the thing is, he would have been like one of the leaders. He's a good guy. Really wanted him to come back, show from his injury last year, bounce back, have a great year. And it's just obviously now he's basically shut down. And it's tough, man. And Devers is not in the lineup tonight because of show 2 nights in a row now not playing. So it's a tough start to the season. Needless to say.
In Story, this was a guy who, he played in Colorado, but parked a lot of home runs. So you'd like to see him play maybe a full campaign, after a year short and in Fenway and pepper the Green Monster, put it over there down on Lansdowne Street. But, now you're not getting that. So it's just, next man up. And, it sucks for the Red Sox and the Red Sox fan, but I'm sure the organization's like, okay, now maybe we can see if we got another guy who can we can use.
Yeah. We got our Oriole fan in the house, Steve Malloy. I don't even know if he's even watched his team this year, but he is an
Oh, yeah.
Orioles fan. So we get a lot of Orioles fans in here. They're all coming out of the
We
woodwork.
got some Baltimore pride in here.
Yeah,
Uh,
that we do.
the one that there's a couple big injuries that are really sticking out. Obviously, Indians are looking really good, but they
I
lost
know
Shane
that.
Bieber for the year.
I know that's to me. He was one of my guys. I know it's not going out on a limb, but I was picking him maybe to win the Cy Young.
Cy Young, definitely a comeback player of the year type, and that's a big hit because he started strong already. What was he? I want to say he was already 2-0, so that's a definitely big hit for an Indians team that maybe a wide open AL Central.
Yeah.
AL Central.
No, you're for
Crazy.
sure, man. You're 100% right. That like we said, the Central in both leagues are wide open. Bieber's, he was one of the reasons I would have picked him up there because because of Bieber. I just thought he could be a Cy Young guy type year, but obviously that's not going to be, and it is a big blow to Cleveland's.
I mean, this guy was, I mean, he had 12 innings pitched, 2 innings, a 0 ERA, 20 strikeouts already. So that's a big blow. We did get Spencer Strider's out till August 1st, which is a big
No, I
hit.
know. That's another. I mean, all these pitch. I know. I mean, I don't want to cut you off. It's just, oh man, it's brutal. These injuries.
I mean, I know MLB's talking about it, and some players have come out. Why do you think we're getting so many injuries to pitchers now lately?
Well, the top three reasons I heard in no particular order is these players want to do velocity. That's all they do. That's one. Then the pitch clock, you've heard. Then if you listen to Glass now, he's saying the sticky substance, these balls are slippery and all of this. He came out and said that, he preferred the sticky substance and all that. And he thinks that might be a contributing factor, not having. So I don't know. The pitch clock to me is like, I don't know. I know it kind of coincides, but it could just be because this was going to happen anyway. I don't know. I know you didn't pitch, but you played baseball at a pretty high level in college. I don't know if you would talk to somebody.
I think by now these pitchers are probably used to the pitch clock. I think that first year was probably a little weird for them because you got to go so quick. I mean, I think it's probably the velocity thing. We got guys throwing as hard as they've ever done, we've ever seen. Back in the day, a guy throwing 90 to 92 is a first-round draft pick. If he's hitting 92. When I was even playing college ball my first year, they told us the MLB looks for 86 from the left side, 88. You got to throw 86 from the left side, 88 from the right side. Now, if you don't throw,
if you're not throwing mid-90s, you're not getting drafted.
No, so. you're hitting 93. You're like, whatever.
Yeah. No, and it's a shame too because sometimes the art of pitching goes away, I think, and everyone just went fast. But even on the high school level, man, that's all they the kid can throw. Never mind, some of these kids can throw a strike to save their lives, but the coaches get so enthralled by the hard throwing kid. It's just like, forget this kid that just can throw strikes and get people out and pitch to contact.
Get ground balls, and like we're seeing guys, you see artists like older guys like Greg Maddux. He didn't blow you away. He worked the zone. He played with it, and you didn't see much injuries. Or you see, a guy like Jamie Moore who pitched how old he was. So you don't really, and those were guys. Maddux, one of the best pitchers we've ever seen.
Of course,
and you don't see much injury history because he didn't throw super hard, but he was masterful with working the zone.
Yeah, no, that's it, and that's all these coaches want. See, even on the little league, it's all those are the pitchers. The ones, hey, throw as hard as you can out there before they even learn any other pitchers. But to me, that could be the reason. But like I said, all three of those regions, velocity, stressing on velocity from a young age, and other pitches that might put stress on the arm. But then I heard the pitch clock that just started being mentioned because they're saying, oh, maybe because of the pitch clock, and all these guys all of a sudden are getting hurt in the era of the pitch clock. And then I heard Gladno himself talk about the sticky substance. So I was like, man, I can't believe he even talking about that. He used to have the sticky substance and all that, but he thinks these balls are slippery.
I mean, I was watching. I got a like Instagram thing, and it's about prospects, and can't remember the prospect's name, but he was high draft pick, and he throws like 102. You're like, oh, where is this guy? And he was with the Rockies. Struggled. Would have one good inning and then couldn't find the zone, but he threw 102 out of high school, and he was a first-round pick. It hit like 100 in high school, so I'm like, it's 100, but he couldn't find the zone, so he's out of baseball now.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. It's just they get so hung up on the speed and the velocity that they overlook some of the. I mean, granted, it helps because if you got that velocity. If you mistake your location, you can get a by with it a little bit more if you're throwing them, 99, 100. If you miss on a 93 mile per hour fastball, it's flying through it's going over a wall somewhere. But if they're throwing 99 and you slightly miss where you're trying to target, you still may be able to get away with it. That's the big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little factor in all, but definitely just throwing as hard as they are now probably doesn't help. It's not a natural motion.
No. And it starts from a younger age now,
they start from a younger age, and they're, these kids are just playing baseball, which is, hey, I'm fine with that. If that's your sport, do it. But I'm like, when I'm a young age, go play other sports, go play football, go play basketball.
Well, there's literally kids that were the diehard travel all over. They were throwing more innings than major leaguers were throwing between different travel leagues, going from this league to this league. And, there was, because down here in Florida, there's no, you're off for the winter in baseball. No, you're playing baseball in the winter. You're playing baseball.
Off season.
Yeah, you're playing baseball in the spring. You're playing baseball in the summer. There is no off season. I mean, heck, they have Christmas holiday tournaments and stuff. So there's the Red Sox game not off to a great start. They just got a hit. The Angels did. But anyway, it's just, it is what it is. And it's just, they want, that's it. Velocity. And I don't, we don't know.
I'm with you on that. And so we got Justin Steele's down May 1st, obviously a big piece for the Cubs there. Big pitcher. Yamakado's down to the 19th. Got a couple guys coming back. A little Marlins news. Braxton Garrett should be back next week, April 17th. So if Bobby, you're there, we got you.
Yeah, I know. We need to get Bobby in here one day. He never comes to us high anymore. We need to get Bobby in this show once in a while.
But the one that bugs me is the rich getting richer. Which Walker Buehler is supposed to be back next week, which is like, the Dodgers just need another good pitcher.
Yeah. So, sorry, I got caught looking at the red. I like the kid. I got the kid, but yes, the Dodgers. They'll find a way. They will bring someone up. They'll be fine. Sorry, the Red Sox game's starting off now. We just hit a batter. I'm sorry. Their first two guys on the Angels are on base. So I got caught by the teacher not paying attention.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Verlander should be back next week too.
How do you think he's going to be? Verlander with so much time off and stuff. So
obviously this was last. Loaiza goes down. That's a big for my Yankees. That's a big loss in our bullpen. Cole could be back on the 25th of May. If he's back on the 25th of May, that's massive because I was shooting more mid-June.
Right. No, that'd be good for you guys, obviously, and hopefully by then you should still be in contention. I don't think the Orioles will. I think the Orioles will win the division, but I think you guys would be right there with them all year. Right now you got that. You're up there a little bit ahead of them, but when you start playing them, that's going to be the telltale sign because that ball club.
Jason Dominguez should be back July 2nd. He's already throwing a little bit. He's hitting on both sides. He had the young guy. Was it 4 home runs in 8 games coming up? and then had Tommy John, so he should be back. And he was obviously a big prospect out of Dominican Republic. Call him the Martian. So hopefully he's back on the second. But we'll go into a little recap, I guess. Yankees 10-3, looking pretty.
No, you guys are kicking butt. I'm sorry, I'm listening to you, but
looking solid. Soto is just doing everything that he's as good as advertised right now. I love one. I'm big fan of Soto right now. He's doing everything. Works the count. He's batting 360 right now. So he's got a hot bat. Anthony Volpe.
Oh no, he's definitely one of the hot hitters. It pains me to say, but he is up there.
Volpe's swinging a hot bat at 372, leads all shortstops in average, which is great.
Yeah, and his OPS is crazy too. Volpe, he's over 1,000. So it's crazy.
Scotty, I really don't know. I kind of really hope they do re-sign Soto. I think they do. I think he's the best player, one of the best players on the team. I just don't. I don't have my faith in Hal Steinbrenner that he wants to get over that massive cap where George, the boss, would just be like, F it. We're the Yankees. We can pay it. I don't care. I just don't. And they're already in that third tier with the Dodgers and the Mets, paying that luxury tax.
Yeah, but if he keeps on playing like he does, I think you guys very seldom let people walk. I know it's a different era.
I mean, if he's doing it playing like this, you have to re-sign him. I mean, Volpe.
I would let nothing more than he walks away from you guys. I don't want him on the Yankees.
They're saying the Mets might have some big interest in him too, and we know Steve Cohen's got a big check.
Yeah, no, that's true. If he opens up the the pocketbook again, then this year he kind of bit the bullet. I guess he learned from last year and just wasn't enamored of any of the guys after getting burned last year. But yeah, he's going to go full throttle next year for sure. Again,
this is the one I was watching a little Mariano Rivera doing like an interview on Yes talking about Volpe, and he goes, "I've never seen a player take such a big jump since Jeter. This guy." First year to second year, where I'm like, it's just such a big jump. After he says that, Volpe gets 4 hits. I mean, if Mariano Rivera says, wow, this guy's an amazing ball player, that jacked me up too.
Yeah. No, it's definitely Volpe. What did I say? He's doing awesome, man. It's just it is what it is. He's a Yankee. Every so often I have to admit that, the Yankees are good, and you guys got a good one so far.
A good young player, which is nice. We got the Orioles are at 84. Obviously, the big news is Jackson Holliday just got called up this past week against the Red Sox. Didn't really do much offensively. Had a couple RBIs, some runs scored, double play. But I mean, we'll see. He's probably got to just get used to the speed, a little different than the minor leagues.
Yeah, just on the side note that we were talking behind camera, isn't it weird that the 3 youngest guys basically in the majors are all have the first name of Jackson?
Yeah, so the first,
guys, if you want a baseball prospect and you're going to have a kid, name him Jackson.
Yeah. So there's 3 players in the MLB right now born after 2023 or 2003, excuse me, and it is Jackson Chirino, Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Holliday. So Jackson's a good name for a young baseball player right now.
I know, and it's obviously Jackson Holliday. He has the DNA. His dad was a really good Major League Baseball player for many years, like several times All-Star, known for the Rockies and stuff. So he, like I say, he's he has that
his
magic.
Uncle is the head coach of Oklahoma State University, so just baseball's in that guy's blood. This guy's been on an MLB ball field since he was, young.
I know. Because that's what I was thinking. Can you imagine being 20 years old? Because you're still like, my kids are 21 and 18, and I still look at them. I want my 21s away at college. I still look at them as kids, and here he is, a 20-year-old guy, flying around now with a major league grown men playing baseball, going to hotels, flying on chartered jets. And it's crazy the life if these young guys are doing, man. That's how Bryce Harper was up, very young too,
Yeah,
man.
Bryce Harper, Clayton Kershaw. After his first win, they dumped champagne on Kershaw. He was in an interview. And obviously, I'm in LA, so I saw every Dodgers game.
Yeah.
They start dumping champagne on Kershaw after his first win. And he goes, "Guys, I'm 20. I can't drink."
That's funny. That's good stuff. Off camera, he's probably having a great time. But yeah, it's like on camera, that's smart think. But I can't believe he's been around that long. Time flies, man. I do kind of remember that. There's been other young. Juan Soto, didn't Juan Soto come up at 19?
Yeah, Soto was young too with the Nationals.
Yeah.
And then we got the Rays hanging around, just doing Rays things. They're 7-6. Red Sox, unfortunately, Rob just got swept.
Yeah, I know, but we were looking good. Yeah, we're at 7-6 with the Rays. Don't put us under the Rays.
No. I mean, it's early. It's very early, but that story's I thought that I was tuning in. You saw the scores. I'm like, oh, it's 5-2, and then
yeah, we just blew it. That's okay. That's life.
Like we said off camera. It's just you got to make those routine plays.
Yeah,
that's how you lose baseball games. And Toronto's at the bottom, but all pretty competitive division. I'm pretty excited to talk about the AL Central is looking pretty competitive. Obviously,
right now, man, you got the Guardians and the Royals sitting up there. So,
I mean, you got I always want to say Indians, but the Guardians, excuse me.
I know.
I'm correct.
I want to say Indians, yeah.
They're at 9-3, but they just lost, Shane Bieber.
I know. That's like we talked about that already, but yeah, that's a brutal blow.
You got
Royals.
The Royals at 9-4. Bobby Witt is batting 358 with 4 home runs, who was a guy we both like. You definitely highlighted him. Have you been able to see Bobby Witt a little bit this year? Or?
Yeah, man, he's kicking ass too. Like I say, he had a great game. I don't know if you saw that one play in the field where they had to jump over each other, basically. I don't know.
I did not see that, but
okay. But yeah, I mean, to me, he's one of the best young baseball. I haven't watched a full Royals game because I normally watch a full Red Sox game and then catch the highlights and bits and pieces of the other teams' games. And because when the Red Sox are playing, I'm focused. Like tonight, Red Sox are already losing 3-0 in the top of the first. They got out of it at bottom of the first now, but it's like,
you're getting a little. Bobby Witt's obviously one of the better young players in the game. Salvador Perez has been 333. It's exciting. I think he's one of the best defensive catchers in the game, and watching Salvador Perez gives me. I mean, if I ever fell out, just the amount of love this guy has for baseball. He's always got a smile on his face. He's doing what he loves is amazing.
Yeah, no, man, he's it's like I said, baseball has a lot of good players. I hope more people get into baseball. There's a lot of teams out there that you won't suspect to be good that are really solid, that has good young players. Kansas City should be a fun team there, like you said, to watch all year.
Kansas City was a fun team. Obviously, 14-15, they had a nice little run there with the core group, and then it fell. I think they might be coming back a little. We'll do a little Florida news. Brady Singer, University of Florida, is 2-0. He's got a .98 ERA right now. This is really exciting because he was a big part of that Florida staff for a while.
Yeah, hey, go Gators, as they say.
It's just they pump out some solid players in that program. Obviously, not a lot of people watch college baseball. If you do, SEC college baseball is pro baseball in the South.
Yeah, no, SEC. SEC is just a good sports conference.
It's just
especially in football. But it's saying, they're good. They're good all around. I only watch football and baseball.
Yeah,
and that goes for college.
SEC football is always going to dominate.
Yeah, I know.
Great. Baseball's great, and it's definitely they don't have pro sports teams. Most of the South, obviously, Florida does.
Yeah,
Georgia, that's about it. Most of them don't really. Tennessee's getting up there, and they got some players from Tennessee who are starting to come up. LSU's honestly, getting 25,000, 20,000 people a game.
No, that's like a mini minor. I mean, that's like a minor league. They bring the people in. They're good. They're the defending national champions. And it was an all SEC national championship World Series final between the Gators. Went down to the final game. Unfortunately, LSU won. I was hoping for a go Gator moment, but hey, that happens.
I mean, they got some obviously a guy that I want to watch, and from Florida, and I think a lot of people should. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. What is obviously I'm excited is Jack Caglione, because he's a two-way guy, to see if maybe he can do that two-way.
I hope he does for a little while in the minors. I know, like you said, they'll probably move him off that, but and you think he's more of a hitter than a pitcher, but
that's what I've been seeing. But he's a big lefty, so it's a definitely obviously now with Shohei, a lot of Shohei doing both sides. Obviously, we want to if it's going to start being more popular. Obviously, we have Brendan McKay, who's with the Rays here, is just starting to make his comeback. Who did that at Louisville and now isn't hitting. But it's just now, especially are we going to see more of this because of Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, no, I would let you cover that. You already covered them, but he said he was late, so you can talk about Cole.
Yeah, well, Scott, we got. He hasn't started throwing yet. They got him. As far as I look, the update is May 25th is what they're ballparking. I haven't heard about throwing yet. I think May 25th is I'm jacked, because that'd be nice. But I'm gonna be a little more negative and probably go more, in my opinion, more June, just because it's an arm and a nerve issue, which is you got to have that. I mean, especially Cole being a high spin rate guy. If that nerve bothers him, he can't feel the spin of the ball. But Detroit's another one who's looking good too.
To standings. Okay. Yeah, no, Detroit. Where are they? They're 7-4. So yeah, there's some young talent on that team, like the Torkelson's kid or whatever.
And they're not getting much from offensively from either. Riley Green was a young guy, Torkelson from Arizona State, but they're Javi Baez not doing much, which is he's batting 152. So I mean, offensively wise, not getting much. Javi Baez is definitely a guy who's he's the big name, but he's ever since that contract for me, he's kind of fell.
Yeah, no, a lot. I know that's what happens sometimes. At least it stands out more when a guy gets the big contract. But so it's just because all of a sudden.
Yeah,
no worries, Scotty, man. We're lucky.
Yeah. Well, we're
happy to have you here, man. We're happy. We know our show's just getting going. Hey, we got a heart from the Facebook. Hey, someone say hi from Facebook so we know who gave it to us. So thank you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and Tarek Skubal's looking good. He's 15 Ks. That's a nice young pitcher. A little resurgence is Shelby Miller is 3-0, 7 innings pitched. He's now in the bullpen, but that was a guy who was traded from the Diamondbacks for Dansby Swanson, and when he got picked number 1 overall to the Braves, he was a big Braves guy. Had a big year. Diamondbacks traded Swanson for Shelby Miller, and he didn't really ever do anything. So
I know he. I actually have seen Shelby Miller pitch live. He was a starter because they had played. Atlanta was playing Boston, and it was like me and the boys. It's like, let's go. So we drove all the way up to Atlanta to see the Red Sox, and Shelby Miller happened to be. So I've actually seen him pitch, but yeah, now he's out of the bullpen. But
it's out of the bullpen, but it's maybe lost it a little bit, and put him in the bullpen, shorten him up. So it's nice seeing a guy resurgent. The AL West, obviously, we got the Angels are 6-6 right now. Obviously, they're up 3-0 on the Red Sox right now. I don't know if you got any live updates for.
No, I'm not giving. It's already out of the. I'm not going to give. You don't have to mention that. I'm not even watching any other game. I'm watching the Red Sox, but it is what it is. I wasn't expecting much this year
And
from them. So,
Angels,
unlike my Dolphins, who I was expecting a lot out, and them not winning a playoff game was kind of disappointing. But I'm not expecting them, so it's okay when you have low
6-6
expectations.
surprise.
Yeah,
I'd be fine if they're actually, just because not that I'm an Angels fan
but you're a
at
Mike
all.
Trout.
I went to a lot of Angels games as a kid because my buddy had season tickets, so he took me to a lot of Angels games. I got to see a lot of the Angels Yankees games. I was there when they beat the Yankees in Game 3, and was when they went in 2003.
Right.
Right, I was at Game 3. It was very painful.
Yeah.
Or 2000, whenever I can't remember. It's such a long
No, it's
time.
2000. In 2003, you guys lost to the Marlins. So it was
2002 maybe.
2002. Yeah. So I
John
know
Laxo.
2004 is the year I like to talk about. See, it's right
Yeah,
there on
right,
the
yeah,
hat.
thanks. Yeah.
But
I mean, you got Logan O'Hoppy's batting 353. That's a nice young catcher. Trout just doing Trout things. 6 home runs.
Mike Trout, man, I know I could say this every single week. I just think it's a shame that Mike Trout is wasting away out there because a lot of people don't even see the man play. Hasn't been in a playoff game for almost a decade or more. I think more than a decade now. And so I think 2013 or something was the last time, and it was like a one series and done for him. I mean, to me, he would never request to be traded because he just that's his reputation. He's a good guy and a team guy. And he signed that contract knowing because he could have got that same amount of money for several teams, anyone would all give him, but he gave it before he got on the free agent market. That's good. I like it because as fans, we always complain, oh, they don't stick. But to me, it's kind of a shame because a lot of people don't even see Mike Trout play, and his whole career is going to go by, and he's probably never even going to maybe play in the playoffs again.
Side note is Mike Trout was drafted 25th overall, and that was the Yankees pick they had to give up for Mark Teixeira.
Oh,
which
wow.
worked out. They won a World Series, so it's not like it didn't work out. Teixeira was a hell of a ball player. But yeah, it's kind of sad. Not a lot of people get to see him because he's on the West Coast there. I'm fine if the Angels actually are a little competitive because I'm a big I like Ron Washington, I was an infield coach, so I really obviously all this stuff. If
Oh, yeah, they say he's one of the best infield coaches in the league.
One of the best, and I one thing I heard from Ron Washington, he goes, and this is for the young players, he goes, you don't. What was it? He goes, you don't practice to be good. Oh man, I'm.
No, he said it. I know.
Oh, it's like you don't practice to be good. Practice makes you good.
Right, exactly.
It's just like these young players got to see it because they're like, I just got to play games. I'm like, And if you see any of these videos with Ron Washington, when he was with Atlanta, he's out there with Ozzy Albies doing work on your knees, getting like that. And I'm like, these are pro ball players. If these young guys got to be watching this, it's just not the 162 games they play a travel ball makes them great. It's like you see these pro ball players making millions, and they're out there doing the little things.
No, I know. Yes, it. And that's. He had a good Kevin Youkilis, former Red Sox. He talked about Ron Washington. He goes, oh, it's like I was in an all-star game, and Ron, most coaches are given like, hey, you guys are good to be here, and this. He comes up to him and he goes, oh, if you guys are here, you're having a good season. But if you never make it again, you're just a flash in the pan and didn't work out. He goes, what? That's the motivation? He goes, luckily for me, it was my third. But he goes, some of you would be here. It's your first time and it's going to be your last time. But congratulations if you keep on working and you keep on coming back. It's the little things that takes to get here. So I was like, whoa, that was funny, Kevin. He goes, because most of the coaches, hey, guys, just have fun. We're just here. And he came in there with like that speech. He goes, man, that's not a motivational speech.
He's just giving you the truth.
Yeah, exactly. So it was good stuff.
I mean, we got the Rangers at 7-6 and top of that division. Rangers. I mean, Corey Seager's doing doing his thing, 311. Was it Alexi Garcia or however you say his first name? He's got 4 home runs. That guy has put on some massive muscle this season. He's huge. If you see his shoulders are massive. But the West isn't very exciting this year.
No, I mean like you said, the whole. Let's see what their records are. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're all pretty much up in there. Houston, though, in the American League West is really drop off. I know last week you asked me if it's the end of Houston. I said no, but you know what? If they keep on doing this, maybe I was wrong. I was just thinking, they can't hit a ball that fast. Because normally, like if they were a 1-year flash in the pan, and then I'm like, okay, they just were 1 year. They got lucky for a year and they had a great run. But they were in there, through the cheating allegations. They still came back and won after that. So they've been good for a long time. And then now, though, they're struggling right now. You guys,
you said, I don't know, it's too early. It's baseball. You never really know. Predictions in baseball, like we even said, gambling on baseball is the hardest thing you'll ever do. It's a failing game, and making predictions, especially this early, it's too tough.
Yeah, I know.
Finally get a little NL news. Atlanta's at the top of the NL East there, but how do you think the loss of Spencer Strider is going to?
Oh, I mean, that's huge. They're a little deeper than Cleveland, so maybe it won't affect them as much and whatever. And it's really unknown. Unless you've heard a timetable, I haven't really heard anything he's going to be out for the season. I just heard that he has the elbow pains. I don't know if he got
August 1st is what they're saying for Strider.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then that's a brutal blow. Like I said, they're a little bit deeper in the rotation and as a team in the lineup than Cleveland. But man, to me, Strider was my Cy Young, so that's out the window. So that just shows how you go. And I think I may have had Bieber in the other. I don't know. So I'm jinxing. I jinxed the Cy Young Award winners. They're both out for a lot of the season. So I'm not going to make Cy Young predictions next year. That's for sure. It's the death knell. So, but yeah, Strider to me is one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Best young pitchers in baseball. Acuna hasn't been looking all that great. Orlando Arcia is batting pretty good, but the Strider's gonna hurt, especially you
got Philadelphia right there with them, and you got
Philly's right there.
The Marlins are, but outside of that, every team's right there, and the Marlins are down there at 2-11. But, almost everyone else is, up in there. And it's early, man. All you have to do at this point, as many games as they lost in a row, you could win 10 games in a row in baseball. It's just that's how the game is. You don't know. So, but right now they're 2-11. So you would look at those standings and say, okay, the Marlins out it, but the Nationals are.
We'll give Scotty a little love here. They're 7-6. The Phillies are. But that Strider's going to hurt. Brandon Marsh, who was a big pickup they made a couple years ago, that 333, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. But losing Josh Turner, Trey Turner, is going to hurt.
Of course. But I still think it comes down to the Braves and Phillies.
They didn't lose Trey Turner. I don't know what I'm gone. My bad. I've lost it.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, but anyway, it's still going to be between the Braves and the Phillies and stuff. So,
but Bryce Harper has not been looking good, batting 196 to start off. But obviously, like we both thought, pitching's looking pretty solid with Zach Wheeler 3-0, 1.89 ERA, 20 Ks. Aaron Nola 2-0. So that's a good one too. That can probably make a little jump, especially if Spencer Strider's out, as long as they're saying. We'll give if Bobby ever showed up, hey, Bobby, how's it going? Your Marlins beat my Yankees in one game.
Yeah.
For their second win.
Yeah, and I know we need to get Bobby in here one day. So that will be interesting to see on that, man. So
surprise, but we got In the NL Central, a little surprise, 1-2. We got 8-3 Brewers, 9-4 Pittsburgh. Both surprisingly good.
I mean, I know the Pittsburgh, they started off against the Marlins, who were playing horrible, and they swept the Marlins. But then they've had some other good series too, man. They've lost the last couple, but
O'Neill Cruz is definitely a fun player to watch. Obviously, Brian Reynolds, who got that big contract, who was a name in the trade rumors forever, finally got that big contract that the Pirates don't really like to give out.
I know. Reno, I mean, he deserved it. There was a lot of rumors that he may be traded, but I'm happy that they kept one of their own and can keep him there. Who knows? They may still move him because now he's very movable, a decent contract, and if he produces, if they fall out of contention.
Yeah,
I was happy to see that because I like seeing the balance. I don't like you Yankees, but other than that, I like to see a balanced league and have some competition and have other teams have a chance to be good. It was kind of neat last year. I know people don't want to see like Arizona in the World Series. They're like, oh, who are these guys? I don't want them in there. And it probably killed the ratings. But for a baseball fan, it's kind of cool to see a different when it's not your team. Like I say, when it's your team, you don't care if they're there every year. But when it's another team, you'd be like, oh, I want to see something different,
Yeah.
So,
but, and obviously, they got the Jackson Torino, rookie, bet 282. Yelich is having what he's got.
No, he's kind of had a bounce back. He's been
having a down year after a while. Obviously, Pittsburgh for me is always waiting to see when Skeens comes up, but everybody who listens already knows that, on my opinion. So, NL Central, NL West.
I hope Skeens comes sooner than later. He should, man. You got this arm, and now you see how fast these arms can go out. Why won't you want to at least get them in the major league level so you can get some innings out of them?
I think it's. I agree with you, Rob. I think it is sooner or later, just because they're going to have to. They saw he was able to handle MLB hitting in his spring in his first spring training. So it's not like hey, we just brought him up. He had a full spring training. You saw he was able to handle the hitters and be competitive. You got to bring him up. And obviously,
if he does well in the minors, they have no excuse but to bring him up. They should. The kid, and he's a college kid. It's not like a high school kid we're talking about that they just drafted last year. He's a guy that started at a military academy, transferred to LSU. So the kid has experience. He's done well. To me, it's just move him up. Maybe they're going to wait for this first month. the Orioles didn't end up caring with Jackson Holiday. They brought him up.
That it is. The MLB, Rob Manfred did do something good where if you have a rookie that bring a rookie up and finish
some honors and stuff, right?
If he finishes in the top 3, rookie of the year or MVP, you get a first round draft pick. So they're trying to incentivize play. Now let's not do what they did to Chris Bryant and keep him down to mess with the service time. Because, obviously you're seeing if you get this first-round pick, it can turn into something.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. Look at the Orioles, back to them. Hey, keep on bringing them up. But that's how the Astros built their dime. They built with youth, going through, some international signing, some drafting, whatever you want to say. But that's how they built a long, sustainable winning team. Now we're saying maybe they're falling on hard times finally. But that's what the Orioles, they're going to be a team. Until these rookie contracts come up and they can't maybe keep them all, this team's going to be contend with for a long time. So
we'll move it. NL West, obviously, Dodgers just creaming the crop there.
Yeah, they're 10-5. Everything we expected.
364, 5 home runs, was leading, not anymore, but was leading every offensive stat for about 2 days there in the MLB.
I got my leaderboard up here in a minute when we do the
Teoscar Hernandez, 15 RBIs.
Yeah.
You got Mookie Betts batting 364, and he's not even has the best average on the team.
No, I know. It's crazy, man. I'm going to go through some of our stats here in a minute.
Will Smith batting 412.
Yeah.
And then Glasnow, who's obviously was off injured with Tampa Bay, is looking like the ace of the staff. He's
Yeah.
3-0, 2.25 ERA, 29 Ks, and now they're getting Buehler back, and Yamamoto looks like maybe he's gotten a little settled down, which is just the rich getting richer with getting Buehler back.
Yeah. No, what can I say? It's definitely the Redskins. I just don't see anyone battling them for the division. But
No,
playoffs is a whole different. Playoffs is a whole different animal. You run into a one hot team that you've probably beat to a pulp all year, but they're good enough to make the playoffs. You run into a hot team, man, you could lose. So that's where their goal is not to win the division. Most teams like, oh, let's win the division. That's our goal, and then we can see what. No, the Dodgers already figured they're going to win the division. That's not a goal. Their goal is to win it all. They put this team together to win it all. I know it's easy to say that, and it's a generic term, but when you go with the super team that they have, their expectations is World Series or bust. So,
I mean, besides the Dodgers, what Padres 7-6, not really much to write about. Former NL champs last year, D-backs 6-7. Obviously, we're all waiting for Jordan Montgomery, but
that's a side note. Jordan, I don't mean to get you off your game. Jordan Montgomery announced that he dropped his agent, Scott Boras.
Yeah, he's
so.
I was just getting that. Hey, you beat me to the punch, Rob.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah. I didn't know if you had
it's
seen
all
that.
good. No. Yeah, I'm glad.
Discuss that backstage.
He leaves the Boris group, which obviously him, maybe he was getting annoyed not being signed so long, but once he comes back, you got Mitch Kelly, who's 2-0. You got Zach Gallen, who's 2-0. And then you bring back Montgomery. That's a solid 1-2-3 that might be able to make some noise.
No, I know. That's what I say. When you get him, it's going to take a little bit of time because he sat out. But, man, that's a solid rotation. And if they can make the playoffs and, you get in a series against them, it's not a team you want to face because they can shut down your lineup, and it's just you just don't know. And it could be one of those tight games that go either way because the Dodgers obviously have pitching that can shut you down too. But, so it's crazy, man. But, yeah, I like that move by them. I think it's kind of funny that Boras, who's, considered like the number one, the top kahuna, whatever term you want to use. He's like the agent in Major League Baseball. Like in football, you hear of like Drew Rosenhaus and different guys. But in baseball, Boras is the name, man. That's like the guy everyone knows. And teams know, like, oh, boy, we got to deal with Boras. This isn't going to be any quick negotiation. So, I just thought that was interesting that he dropped him. Doesn't mean he can't go back because he's upset and then realize, oh, maybe I should go. But right now, it looks like he's dropped him, and I find that kind of funny.
You want to get in any you got some leaderboards you had for me.
Yeah, I do. Let's see. First, we're going to get into advanced stats. Still at the hardest exit velocity, but it's tied with one of your Yankees now. Tatis Jr., he has max exit velocity of 116.7, but now Giancarlo Stanton has a 116.7. Ohtani has a 115.8. Juan Soto has a 115.7. So these guys are cracking the ball. Those are the hardest hit balls this season. And as far as the highest average, this guy you probably wouldn't even know. He's on a team playing my team right now, Miguel Sano of the Angel. He's averaging his contact as 101 point. Every time he makes contact, it's 101 off the bat.
I know you won't be surprised about this, Rob, but I do know Miguel Sano. He was actually a Minnesota Twin. So I went to school in North Dakota. So a lot of Twins fans out there. So I was definitely aware of Miguel Sano. It was a guy who definitely fell off, definitely had a big rookie year, big second year, kind of fell off a little bit, but nice to see him swinging. He always had a big bat.
Yeah, no, that's it. And now we're getting to the more traditional stats. I always like that exit velocity of the newer stats. Just really shows how much people are barreling it up and hitting it hard. Doesn't always necessarily even lead to hits, but it just shows that they're hitting it hard. So we're going to go to the home run leaders. And Funny enough, a guy that I know because he happens to be on my team, he's up there on the leaderboard with 6. Tyler O'Neill. Mike Trout also with 6. Mookie Betts at 5. Marcel Ozuna, former Marlin, also at 5. Kristen Yelich, another former Marlin, at 5. Jordan Alvarez at 4. So those are your home run leaders so far. And I'm going to go to average real quick here. As of right now, let's see. Man, some of these Angels, man, are doing okay. Nolan, let's see how many at-bats he has, though, before I say. Oh, yeah, man, never mind. I won't go average. Let's see. I don't know, 4. Will Smith, yes, hitting 412. Stephen Kwan hitting 386. Ryan McGannon, 375. Spencer Steer, 372. Yankee alert. Anthony Volpe, 372. Jose.
You're going to skip my guy there, Rob.
Jose Altuve, 370. Mookie Betts, 364. Juan Soto is right there at 360 on the nose. So there you go, guys. There's some of the leaders on that. And OPS, guys, another somewhat new, but it's been around a while. And the leader in OPS is Mookie Betts. So, and Tyler O'Neill is up there on that one too, and Mike Trout, so who happens to, be playing against my team right now. But it is what it is. So those are some of the stat leaders going into, it's a couple weeks of the season, however many you want to say. Like 13 games into the season, give or take, from a couple teams. So a couple weeks into the season, those are your leaders. A lot will change by the end. Most of these guys won't be hitting anywhere near 370 something at the end of the season, but it just shows that, who's hot right now. And those are the guys that are hot right now. And to me, it's been a fun baseball season, minus the injuries to the pitchers and minus the injury to my starting shortstop, Trevor Story. To me, it's been a fun season so far, and I'm here all for it. I'm tweeting out baseball stuff all the time, watching the Red Sox all the time. So it's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's always a great time, baseball. And, always, guys, please like, share, subscribe, smash it. Let's the more people we got coming out to listen to us, Scotty, Steve, we always appreciate you guys chiming in. Always appreciate that.
Steve and Scotty, both of you, big kudos. There's several of you guys showing here. Just a couple of people commented, but thank you for all you that we got like 28 people right now showing throughout. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, come over to YouTube, give us a like and a thumbs up. It helps and, shows the channel that we're putting on a good baseball show. So I appreciate it.
But, always appreciate all new listeners or consistent listeners. Always appreciate you. I'm going to be off next week. I'm heading to Cancun for my sister's wedding. I'll be gone for 5 days, so I will be off next week. But as always, Rob will be here taking the reins, so we'll be in great hands.
Yeah. No, that's it. And I will figure out a way. I'll see if Bobby can get me up.
I'm not even worried, Rob. I'm not even worried. This is on deck. I'm Russ Morgan, always here with Rob Mosley. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys. Batter up.